All right, one of the most disturbing stories that I've seen in a long time is the new drag kid. I guess it's the most disturbing story since the last story about a drag kid. This is parents putting their little children, 7, 8, 10 years old children, dressing the little boys up as girls, having them parade around for lecherous men and do little dances. This happened with this kid. They call him Desmond is Amazing. Now there's a new kid, a 10-year-old Canadian boy, Nemus Quinn Malanzone Golden. He was featured in a very troubling piece in Huck magazine. It was just talking about his life as a child drag queen. And it gets even creepier than some of the other ones because he posed for a photo with a drag queen named Violet Chachki, who is this guy who won season 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race, who in the photo was naked. So they're now pimping out this kid, this 10-year-old little kid, they're dressing him up like a girl and they're having him pose with naked men for the amusement of their sick and perverted audience. This child's parents should be in prison, at the very least. They should be in prison. The key should be thrown away, at the very least. This photographer, Jonathan Frederick Turton, should be in prison. This is sick pedophilia. This is sick child abuse. If this were happening not on the pages of glamorous leftist magazines, but in a housing project somewhere in the Bronx, that kid would be taken away from his parents. Kids have been taken away from their parents by the state for good reason, for a hell of a lot less than putting him out in sexualized women's clothing and having him pose with naked men for magazine photos. This is sick, sick pedophilia. And now there is a backlash. There's a backlash. I see it on Twitter. You see it from the commentariat all over magazines and blogs. They're saying there's nothing inherently sexual about drag queens. First of all, yes, there is. Yes, there is. I'm from New York. I grew up in New York. I've hung around the Village plenty. I've seen, I've gone by drag bars. It is inherently sexual because the idea of a drag queen is a caricature, a sexualized, cartoonish idea of what a woman is and of what femininity is. It isn't simply femininity. You don't see child drag queens wearing pantsuits like Hillary Clinton. They're wearing feathered boas and they're wearing sequined dresses, and it is a sexualized act. The other drag kid whose parents are abusing him was recently found dancing at a gay bar with men throwing dollar bills at him. But you're going to tell me that that's not sexualized? Of course it is. And you know what is certainly sexualized? Putting that little kid in women's clothing and having him pose next to a grown naked man who himself is pretending to be a woman. That is child abuse.